Welcome everybody. Well done on completing part 2 of our program. So good to have you back. So up to now we've covered the grief share. The grief share was all about the hardships, the traumas, the pain, the events that you've went through your lifetime from your earliest memory. We've talked about what was going on in your life at that time, especially if you've attached negative emotions and meanings to the events that have happened. And we've worked and started the healing process with that. You are all doing exceptionally well. I'm really, really proud of you that you are open enough, confident enough, and more importantly, strong enough to trust us in starting your healing process. Then we covered the self-development. So self-development was the real key as to why we're here. And this was going back in time to identify what it is that you really want to be doing in your life, or the life that you should be living before anybody told you what you should be doing. So I hope that makes sense, because when we are young, we have a lot of desires, we have dreams, we have aspirations, we see people that we want to be like, we see role models, we have that dream, that desire. Then over time life happens, and before we know it, there's a little bit of confusion going on in our hearts and our souls and our mind as to, well, what do we want? Because we see teachers, we see parents, we see other people, and there's a bit of a scramble going on within our neurosystem. And for most of us, the better part of us, we end up going and following a career path or an entrepreneurial path into something that we believe is what we want to do. And we start that and we're so excited and we think that's what we want to do. However, there isn't a deep inner fulfillment. And for many of you that I've spoken to one-to-one, we've gone through individually, and for some of you, you found that yes, this is the path, which was great because now you have clarity. And for some of you, you found that this isn't what you wanted to do. So, and that's good. It's not we're saying, change everything overnight. It's to now start identifying a path and a journey so that you can now gradually start truly living life at your fullest potential and with the purpose that you are brought onto this earth for. Now, some of the language I may use, some of you may not agree with, but that's okay, because all I'm saying is that be open to learning. Don't think about the words, but think about the message that is specifically coming to you. And that's what starts our leadership journey. Because as leaders, we know that irrelevant of what we're doing, wherever we're at, wisdom, knowledge, things come to us in different ways. And if we knock things back, it may be that we're knocking back the opportunities that are coming to us. So I say be flexible, be open to learning, keep your state in a great way. So we talked about our physiology, we talked about our psychology. And when your state's in a great place, your physiology, that you're breathing, you're sitting upright, you're paying attention, you're focused, you're open to learning. It might just be the one word that I say, and that's what's going to trigger the answer that you're looking for. So state and watch your neighbor. So, we've got a room full of people here. Look at your neighbor, and if you feel they're not sitting in a great way, if their physical body's not in a great way, just tap them and say, hey, how about sitting upright? How about shaking your body up? And how about taking a breath in? So who's up for that?
Okay.
Yay, excellent. All right, so self-leadership. And why are we using a lot of energy here? Because you have done exceptionally well, and I cannot say that enough. When you first came into the program, when we did the grief share, your physical bodies were not in a great place, you were looking down. It was evident that some of you were, even scared to look up or even scared to take a breath of not knowing where we were going with this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hold you accountable for managing your state and also your psychology. So I'll give you a few moments to get settled before we start the program. All right, so let's get this ball rolling. You're all in a great place. Again, I'm going to keep saying that all the time because I'm pre-framing. You've got great physiology while you're sitting down. You've got your notebook, because remember what I said about the writing notes? As soon as you put pen to paper, your neurology, your neurosystem starts acknowledging the information that you're putting down. So it becomes real. And in this space, we want to do everything that we possibly can to ensure that all that we're going to share today, all that I'm going to share, all the shares that you're going to be sharing with us, really gets into a place where it's in our neurosystem, it's integrating, it's being implemented within us, and to a point where we've learned the information, but we're so strong in what we've heard and understand it that we can then go and impart that knowledge with other people, i.e. sharing that value add with others. Because if you learn in the way that you know you're going to have to teach it to somebody else tomorrow, then my friends, you'll find that you're going to spend more attention in listening and in seeing and even feeling. And that's another stage. So we all learn differently. I think quite a few know that I do teach universities and school, and currently I was just doing some contractual work for year 11 and year 12s, and I talk about the VAC all the time. Some of us are visual, some of us are auditory, some of us are kinesthetic. We learn differently, so please don't judge or opinionate first yourself that you haven't learned or heard something in the same way that somebody else has, and don't judge other people as well. We take on information at different levels, we interpret it in a different way. So I may have said something, Steph would have heard it in a different way, George would have heard it in a different way, Anna would have heard it differently as well. And that's why we come back to these sessions to have group discussions. For example, if I was going to sit down with Steph and I'd say, oh, Pushpa was saying this, and wow, that really resonated with me. Steph might say, that's interesting, because when she said that, I related it to my personal issue, and this is what it meant for me. And then I would probably be like, wow, I never thought of that. And saying that actually does support me in my lifetime as well. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so no judgment, no opinionated here. We don't do that. We love and respect each other in every way. So leadership, this is part 3. Why self-leadership? Because my friends, we were all brought up in this world, and we were all born to be leaders. Why? If you have the ability to influence somebody, which we all do, then you are a leader. And by influence, I mean, as a child, you influence your parents. As an adult, you influence your parents, your friends, your loved ones, you influence people at work, and whether professional or as an entrepreneur, whatever area of your life, something you say, do, act on, decisions, choices, at some point will influence another person. For many of us, that leadership skill has sort of been dampened down, and lots of rocks and events have happened, and it's compromised our ability to become that strong self-leader. What we're doing here now is that with the last 2 sessions that we've had, we've unleashed and we've allowed to let go of all these rocks that we've piled on within us, and we've released them. And now we've got the opportunity to bring our self-leadership up and be strong in it. Now the first thing to do for all of you is to just do the exercise, and the questions there are: how am I a leader in life? Who or which group am I influencing? How am I influencing them? Is it through action? Is it through words? Is it through decisions? Is it through just walking down the street and somebody sees you with your beautiful clothes and attire? And then the third question is, as a leader, what would you like to be seen, heard as, or felt as? So go ahead and start that exercise, and I'll see you back in the room in about 15 minutes. All right, everybody, welcome back. How was that exercise? Brilliant. So I'm looking for your answers, and our team here at WMF is going to ask you to submit the answers to that, because we really want to ensure that you get the support. Now, I know these sessions are here face to face, but as a special gift from myself, we're also going to give you a half an hour one-on-one support in regards to your self-leadership, because I really want to ensure that you get it. Now, for me, when I was traveling through this journey, not once, not twice, but 7 times, it's, you know, I believe I've said this before, it wasn't like I was a rock that was broken. I was literally crushed into fine sand, and if I hadn't been crushed enough, people made sure that I was really ground into the earth, but I picked myself up again. And even when we start traveling the leadership journey, sometimes it can be lonely. One of the things that I also say is that if you've gone up a mountain and you're a leader and you're the only one that's standing there, your followers are down here, then your leadership role is going to be a very alone and lonely role. You want to be taking people that you influence up with you. And that's why we want to ensure, because self-leadership is really crucial. And believe you me, we really, really want to ensure that you've got this, 100% that you've got this, because then that is what's going to assure us at WMF you have the ability to then go and lead a better quality life. And that's our whole mission: to lead, to heal, and to inspire transformation. Transformation means that whatever life you are living in the past is going to be in a better place, and you're living a high quality life. My personal mission for WMF, or my own organization, Leaders by Design, or for my personal organization, the Leadership Kingdom, I only have one mission, and that's to create leaders that will ignite transformation in the world. And this is what we do, and this is why we do it, because we believe in you, and we believe in your ability to be living your life according to your terms, in the way that you desire, and in the process also helping others. All right, so we're going to take a bit of a break here. I just want you to revisit those questions, ensure that you've got everything there, and then whether it's today or whether it's after the program you go back home, is to just really think about your answers, go deep within, and if you need to write them, and then we want you to email us the copy of your answers, and then one of us will be in touch with you so that we can have that free session with you. So I'll give you another few more minutes. I'll see you back shortly. All right, so welcome back. Well done on all that you've done there. Now, the most important thing, which I believe is really, really crucial as a strong self-leader, is self-love. Why I say self-love? Now, there's a lot of people that make mistakes in thinking what love is. Love is not self-criticism, self-judgment, always comparing yourself to other people, always thinking that other people are better than you, thinking that you're ugly, thinking that you're fat, thinking that you're skinny, you don't have it, thinking that they have education, you don't, thinking that you are, I'm going to use the word, stupid, whereas that person is very knowledgeable. Self-love is not that. It's about accepting you for who you are, recognizing all the great things about you, and like all of us, like myself, recognizing areas of improvement so that we can be even better. But self-love starts with self-acceptance, because if you don't accept yourself, how are you going to accept somebody else? If you don't love yourself, how can you even begin to think that you love somebody else? And this is something that I share with my clients in Leaders by Design. Currently, there's a lot of marriage breakouts out there, and I did a lot of relationship coaching, especially northern side of Queensland and in the UK. And in these relationships, the couples are at a point where they absolutely hate each other and are on the verge to kill each other or do something. They just want to bash the other person's head. I've seen relationships break up because the guy would not put a glass in the dishwasher. He left it on the sink on purpose. Or they've been together 9 years, and after 9 years they get married, and within 2 months she realizes how he eats with his mouth open, and it starts becoming an irritation. And the person that leaves the socks, it's not just the men that leave the socks, even the ladies, they leave their garments everywhere. It becomes an irritation. Because these little irritations are not dealt with immediately or addressed, it starts becoming bigger, it starts becoming anger, it starts becoming hatred. And this is what's really going on in the world today. People are not dealing with the negative emotions. And I don't know why I'm sharing this with you, but I feel somebody needs to hear it. So the question I ask them is that if love is unconditional, then did you really love that person when you married them for it to become into a state of absolute hatred? Was it true love? Because love is unconditional, right? So how can you say that I promised you all these vows, and yet today I absolutely hate the ground you walk on? So for you as an individual, it's really, really important that you identify what true love is for you. And I know I did this for many years. I was constantly criticizing the way my hair was, the way that I'd walked, the way that I'd looked, and more so because somebody told me how stupid I was, or how fat I was, or how ugly my hair was, or that I shouldn't wear a dress, I should only wear trousers because my legs are ugly. And I know everybody's looking at my legs now, but that's okay because I love my legs, right? And it happens when I'm on stage. You know, first thing, especially women have a habit of doing, they'll look at my hair, they'll look at what I'm wearing, and there's already judgments and opinions. So I'll stop for a while, I'll go quiet, I'll let everybody do what they want to do, and then I'll continue. And when we do that to somebody else, it's usually because it's a weak point for ourselves. It's not about the other person. It's not about what they're wearing. It's not about how their hair looks. It's usually because we see that not great in ourselves. So that's the self-love. And there's a question there for you. This is going to be emotional, but please answer it. We're here to support you. We're here for you. If you cannot answer that question, that's okay. Somebody will come around and work with you. But go ahead and attempt that question. I'll give you a few minutes. All right, welcome back. Well, very, very well done for being so brave in answering that question. I know for some of you, we haven't scraped that barrel yet, but I love the fact that at least from your mindset, you were able to put something down. And we're going to support you in that as well. Self-leadership is an emotional journey. And for many people, people think that leaders are just strong, they're corporate, they're entrepreneurial, they just go forward. And there's a theory on what leadership should be. But that theory is not the reality of what leadership is. If you think about it, our ancestral historic leaders and our world today is made and based on a few historical leaders that truly believed in what they did, right? So they didn't have all this theory-based. They trusted their heart, they trusted their instinct, they trusted their mindset. For some of them, they used it for the right reasons, and for some of them, they didn't. I'm not going to take any names, but I'm sure you know the history of the world today. And so leadership is an emotional game, and that's why it starts with you first. Because the only way you're going to influence other people is if you value them and you love them. And that's why in the second stage of our program, we worked on the values and the beliefs. And when you have values that are personal to you, that are attached to your purpose, you will find that everything else around your life will start falling into place. There's so much confusion in this world for women that, you know, they have a benchmark to meet. They are told that this is how they should be living. For our culturally and linguistically diverse women, from their background, they were, you know, with their background, some of these women are told you have to be virtuous in every way. You've got to be a servant in every way. You have to do this, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. There's, for many called women, they feel that they don't have an option or a decision. And I've spoken to quite a few over the number of, you know, over the past few years. And for some of them, what I found was that they wanted to do this, but they wanted to do it out of free will. And that's one of the gifts that we as human beings have been given. We've been given the gift of free will, so we can make the choices. But for some women, because they're told what to do, there's an element of resentment. And that's painful, that's hurtful, because they feel neglected, they feel left at, they feel picked on. And again, that's a whole new story which we're going to be covering in future programs. That's one of the reasons that I kept the leadership part of this workshop short, was I just wanted to touch base first to help you identify your personal leadership ability and unleash that, and then also to give you the first resource that every leader needs for themselves and the ability to influence others. Now we're going to be running some more programs around leadership. WMF are working on that right now. So if you wanted to take your self-leadership to another level or your personal development to another level, I do apologize, 1 second. Of course, that's going to happen in a program where you don't put your phone on silence. But that's why we're here, we're flexible. So where was I? I lost my train of thought. Yes, so we're going to be doing additional programs for you, because today and the last 2 sessions have been very emotional. We've started the healing process. We've identified and helped you by coaching you in your values and your beliefs, and we've started the mentoring process in your leadership. Why I say mentoring is because we've been there. I've been there, my team have been there, and with mentoring, you can only be mentored with people that have lived experience of where they're taking their mentees. And we can guarantee you that as we hold your hand with our future programs, we'll be able to take you to and through that journey with successful outcomes. So that's it for this workshop. We have got a little bit of a networking event at the end of the day. And if you have any other questions, then please do reach out. We can support you with that. What else is there? So we've got the leadership program coming up. We've got the inner healing program coming up, and these are specifically designed to our individual clients. So these are fee for service. You come to us, your organization comes to us, and we can design these programs for you. Even if it's in corporate and it's teamwork, if it's in corporate and you want to be working with the mindsets of your individual staff, if you want to see their KPI and the performance improve, whether it's for the CEOs, CFOs, we can do that. I know over the last few years, CEOs, CFOs, and managers have called me in on a Monday morning, and they've even called me in to do some meditation or some yoga, or because they've got a full day on and they just needed to have themselves in a calm, collective way so that they could be dealing with the work in an effective way, whatever the week brought to them. So our programs are flexible. If we can, not if, we can help you. However, if there's something that we feel that can be done better elsewhere with another organization, then we will be absolutely honest with you and recommend you that as well. And that includes the support services that are freely available to all our clients and participants. So that's it from me. Well done. Congratulations for finishing the entire workshop. I look forward to speaking to you all soon. And the journey doesn't end here. This is the beginning. And this is our guarantee to you that you can reach out to us anytime and you can redo these workshops as many times as you want. Repetition is the mother of skill. So if you really want to be seeing change in your life, you've got to be consistent, you've got to take deep action, you've got to want to do it as well. So the desire has to come from within, and don't give up. So that's Pushpa, CEO from Women's Mentoring Foundation. And I just thank you from myself and my team.